What's going on, APUSHers? Tarasco here, ready to teach you how to nail the short answer questions. Unfortunately for my classes, we had a hurricane come through, Hurricane Doran, and we haven't had school for 2 days. So in order to make up some time, I really would like you to watch this video and get some short answer practice so that we're not taking up too much time in class going over this stuff. So first things first, when you look at the AP exam, you have 55 multiple choice questions, 55 minutes, 40% cake. We'll nail that out of the park. The next part is the short answer question. There are 3 of them that you need to answer and respond to. Okay, the first one, you will always see something that looks like this. That is your historical interpretation. Okay, you have a document, primary or secondary source that's been recently on the College Board, or the College Board's put secondary sources in there, but you have one source, a second source, and then you have 3 questions to answer about these 2 sources. We will go over that shortly. The second question, you're going to get some sort of stimuli, whether it's a photo, a map, a flag. Could be this flag. Could be this Carry Imps bag. Go Imps. It could be that Irish flag. It could be a cartoon like that. It could be a coffee cup like this with political slogans, or any of these, really, political slogans. Okay? It could be anything. Excuse me, that's the bell. Could be anything, okay? But you'll have some sort of stimuli, and then you will have 3 questions to answer based off of that stimuli. Okay, the third choice, you actually get an option on whether you want to do one from periods 1 to 4 or 5, or periods 5 or 6 to 8. I can't remember off the top of my head which is which. So that's the order of the short answers. That's what it'll look like. And that's what you're expected to do. You're expected to look at the source. You're expected to answer the questions. Now, you notice that there are 3 questions that you have to answer based off the stimuli for each short answer question. So let's talk about how to go about answering these. When you look at the first set of questions, it will be a historical interpretation. You will get 2 sources, secondary or primary sources, that you are going to have to A, tell the difference between each source and back up the difference of each source. B, you are going to have to insert a specific to back up one of those sources' opinions. And C, you're going to have to use a specific to back up and explain another one of those, the other source and what they want. So let's look at this together. First off, a paragraph is a horrible idea, in my opinion, to answering a short answer question. So if you have 3 parts of a question you have to answer, and you can't use a paragraph, how would you do that? Well, Mr. Lincoln, you are correct. He said you would do it in A, B, and C format, or 1, 2, and 3. Nice job, buddy. That is correct. Okay, so when you are answering these, you do not answer in a paragraph form. You answer in this form. A, section A, here's my answer. Section B, here's my answer. Section C, here's my answer. Now, when I say you don't answer in paragraph form, that does not mean that you should not have 3 to 5 sentences fully elaborating with specifics. That is the key to getting all 9 credits for the short answer, and that is a key to doing well on the AP exam. Short answer makes up 20% of your exam. If you do well on the multiple choice and you crush the short answer, you're setting yourself up to pass with a 3, 4, 5. Okay, and you haven't even gotten to the DBQ stuff. So elaboration and specifics in each one of these sections. All right, so when you look at a historical interpretation, you can see the questions right here. Okay, basically it says, part A, explain the difference between De las Casas and Sepulveda's opinion. First, what is their opinion, and how are they different? How do you know that they are different? Okay. B, you need to provide an example to back up either Sepulveda or De las Casas, whichever one it asks for. And C is the same thing, evidence to help back up the other guy. Not hard to do. Okay. But if you're not using specifics and elaborating, you can get a very, very small answer that is not going to get credit, a non-specific answer, a non-AP level answer, and that's going to be an issue. Okay, so again, just to recap here, okay, for historical interpretation, A, B, and C. A, what is the difference between the two? What is their opinion? What is their point of view? How are they different? B, answer one of the back up and justify one of those opinions with specifics. And part C, back up the other opinion or justify it with the other specifics. Okay, so you do that. The second question will have some sort of stimuli. You can see here that we have a stimuli. Okay, and it's a political cartoon. This is going to be the same thing, political cartoon, map, migration chart, whatever it might be. Okay, whatever you're going to get here, it's going to ask you three very similar questions. It's going to ask you the point of view of the cartoon. It's going to ask you the point of view of the artist. It's going to ask you about some sort of point of view, okay, some sort of historical significance. All right, and what you're going to see is you have part A here. What is the point of view? You have to not only state that this person thinks something about this cartoon, whether it's positive or negative, and how you know it's positive or negative. Obviously, in this, the author is not stating that he was hungry when he made it and he really, really enjoys meat. Sorry to all the vegetarians, vegans out there. And he loves butcher shops. So he made this guy look like a butcher because he was hungry on Christopher Columbus. That is incorrect. This is obviously something that is negative. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are stating in there, all right, this is negative. How do I know that this is negative? All right. What from the cartoon shows me that it is negative? Okay. Then you have to obviously provide evidence to back up for part B, something specific, whatever you can think of. Obviously, if the point of view is negative, it's going to be something to do with a negative interaction between the Spanish and the natives. Okay. And then you have part C down here, something that you have to prove that is the opposite. So obviously something that we have positive from the interaction of the Spanish and natives. Okay. That's all I got for you. APUSH 1920. You guys go ahead and get in there. Tarasco's APUSH class. Get in that Google Classroom and go ahead and grind out some short answer questions. All right, I put some up there this morning. I want you guys to go through and practice answering them. All right. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.